Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another Track Titan Community Race Series, the 38th race of the entire Track Titan Community Race series. And of course, this is what, the 10th of this season? I'm sure someone will correct me. The man that will correct me, I'm sure, throughout this race is the man that's joining me. Metaphorically beside me, it's Spitslam. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Depressed. It's the 11th race of the series. It's the 11th race of the first quarter. And we're just finishing practice. So I'm sure we're going to jump into qualifying anytime soon. In fact, there we go right now. So we've got a very, very full server today. 22 drivers in total, and you can see them just flooding out of the pit lane. Look at them go. I'm gonna jump on with Michelle Rodriguez, who's gonna give us a quick tour straight out the pits around this circuit. Barcelona Moto, have you had a chance to lap this car this week, Spitslam, at all? I know you're a busy man.
Well, busy man I am, but I drove the car a little bit.
Nice. How'd you find it?
Oh, it's okay, but someone messed up the tire pressures again.
Well, I think that's
Yeah.
that's part of the fun, isn't it, in this series, I think.
Yeah, definitely it is. But now it's fixed. Like, you fix it for the race. Why?
That was not intentional. Well, okay, well, we're racing with it anyway. But of course, it's a fixed setup for all the drivers. A fixed setup for all 22 of the drivers. So they're all dealing with the same kind of level of machinery. So any advantages everyone overtakes, they are purely skill based. But well, anyway, for the more interesting part, of course, you might have seen it in the title of the stream, but we are coming around to the most interesting part of the circuit. Because as you can see, we are not taking the sharp left-hander, we are instead taking the Moto GP layout for Barcelona. And that is the best layout, isn't it?
Yes.
It is, it's the best layout.
Okay, finally.
No one wants the chicane. No one wants the chicane. I know that people from F1 watch this. You know, Michael Massey's a big fan of Track Titan, and he said himself once.
How do you?
I've got insider sources. But there we go. Coming around to finish a lap, you can see the difference. They're taking the kind of. Well, they're not taking the sharp left-hander at turn 10, which is now actually not there anymore, is it? Of course, they've actually replaced it with a style more similar to this original Moto layout. But of course, then they're also not taking the end chicane. So yeah, plenty to look forward to in this race, and it's a decent car to drive. I think it should give us some good racing. I give it a few hot laps throughout the week. Put in a very, very, very slow time, and found that it likes to if you get on the curbs, it likes to step out on you, doesn't it?
Yes, it definitely does.
I think the key curbs for me, or at least the key corners that I kept struggling with, was turn 1 when you turn it. Sorry, turn 2. Sorry, when you turn around that left-hand bend. I think that's a very classic one to struggle on, though. A lot of cars do struggle there because it's such a medium-speed corner and it's quite a high curb, so it just unsettles the car and sends you around. And then we have turn 3, 4, 5 turn 8 and 10 as you go up the hill. I think it is turn 8 and 9. I think that's the one, but it's very easy to go around there as well, of course. Again, with the painted curbs and the high curbs that there are at this circuit. So plenty for these drivers to learn, and I'm sure they've all been hot lapping through the week to get the practice in. But plenty to look forward to, of course. 22 drivers of the highest standards. The highest standards. Isn't that right?
Oh, definitely.
So, in addition to all of that, the excitingness of the car, excitingness of the circuit, we of course do have the championship. And it is coming to a close, of course. We run the championship every quarter, 13 weeks in each quarter, 13 weeks in each championship, and this is the 11th week. So we've got 6 more races for these drivers to make up points, 6 more races for these drivers to cement their place in Track Titan history. And at the top right now, there is 1 point between the 2 drivers, Ryan Skywalker and Eric Mandera. Ryan is on 289 points. Eric is on 288 points. It's really coming down to the wire now. It really is, isn't it? And I don't know who to back for this race. Have you seen what the times have been like in practice at all, Spitzlam?
Oh, yes, I did. Eric and Ryan had really strong times.
Very close, or?
Yeah, really close. Then I know that Ryan gave me insight that he has really consistent lap times when it gets to it, so he can do like 143s straight 5 times in a row.
Goodness me! So, I think that's going to be the key as well, isn't it? Here, consistency around a track like this. I mean, overtaking isn't difficult here. So as long as you can keep them consistent laps in, then you can manage to defend. I think that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that is it.
And well, the first times are coming in because drivers are beginning, to come around and complete the first timed laps. Of course, we've been on with Michelle Rodriguez for a little bit now on the stream. But currently, before the leaderboard on the screen updates, Ryan Skywalker is sat in provisional pole right now. He's managed to put himself into provisional pole so far with a 1:43.866. Eric Mandera is the man that is chasing him. The man that is chasing him very tightly puts in a 1:43.968. There is currently 1/10 between the two drivers at the top of the field and at the top of the championship. Max Newt 7's in provisionally 3rd, and as we can see now as it updates, Jovan Oisthausen in 4th, representing the South African contingent. So yeah, it's tight at the top, isn't it? I don't know what's going to happen in turn 1, but this is becoming an epic Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen-esque battle between these two drivers, isn't it?
Well, definitely yes. Or they can both end like Rosberg and Hamilton.
Of course, it's Barcelona. I didn't think of that. Well, time will tell, but that's a very real possibility right now. As the two drivers at the head of the field seem to have been coming to blows every single race so far. Every single race recently, at least. Of course, last time round they came together. They were at Spa. They were racing close side by side, and Ryan Skywalker came off worse for wear, didn't he? And he lost some serious points. He had a bit of an advantage going in, but he left with only 1 point between himself and Eric. Yeah, I think it's just been one of them. But fighting talk from the pair of them, fighting talk from Ryan and Eric before the race. Caught up with both Ryan and Eric before the race a little bit, as Michelle does a bit of drifting for us and then does a spin. I caught up with both drivers before the race, and Ryan, very, very aggressive talk from Ryan, says that he is ready to risk it all. He will put anything down to hold on to this lead at the head of the championship. There's 1 point between us, it's getting close. Everyone's on edge, he says, and every week, Ryan says, Eric accidentally bumps him off. Accidentally, in quotes. What do we think to that? Because Eric himself has also said he's ready to race right to the death, right to the bitter end with Ryan here. Will we have some fireworks today?
Well, maybe you can see some fireworks if both of them will behave like Max Verstappen when he started racing in F1. Then yes, we may see some fireworks, but I'm not sure.
What do you mean when he started? He still races like that.
I don't know. I don't care.
No, but yeah, a very exciting race in prospect. And of course, while we've been talking over everything that's going on in the future, that's going on in the cars and the track, we've of course had the cars circulating for their qualifying laps, and we've got 1 minute 45 left in this qualifying session. And as you can see, there's still a 10th between Eric Schmidera and Ryan Skywalker. Neither of them have been able to improve on that 1:43 time that they've got. But Mr. Max Newt 7 has managed to jump right between the pair of them. He's causing some chaos in the championship. He's the chaos bringer, and he wants to get involved. And of course, Max himself is in a bit of a battle because he's in 6th position right now. He stands to gain some positions today because Artyom, once again, is not here. I think he might retire from the series because we've not seen him in a little while. Artyom's only 139 points ahead of him right now. And of course, he's going to want to catch up to Henry Comsey and Michelle Rodriguez, who are a bit further ahead than him. So that'll be not something that can be done today. But if he could pull off a serious catch-up, he could get himself close to Henry and Michelle. But there we go, as Jovan Oisthausen puts in a time of 1:43.922. And so he puts yet another car between Eric Schmidera and Ryan Skywalker. I thought they were close, Ryan and Eric, but clearly not close enough.
Doesn't seem like it. It seems like Max and Jovan just reserved their powers for qualifying.
They really did, and they left it to the late bitter end of qualifying as well, because of course, only 30 seconds till the checkered flag falls, and plenty of drivers up at the top that are very close. Max Newt 7, there he goes, puts himself onto provisional pole with a 1:43.504. What a flying lap from Max, that is. That's 3.5 tenths faster than the fastest lap so far of Ryan Skywalker. That's an incredible lap from Max Newt 7 there to put himself onto provisional pole. Jovan Oisthausen is in the pits. He's not going to get another lap in, so he's comfortable with whatever time he's got so far. And so all eyes do become on Mr. Ryan Skywalker. Here he is as he comes around. Oh, bit of snap oversteer there as he comes around the long left-hander at the back end of the circuit. Of course, no chicane, as we've already said, so he's going to be flying around these last few corners to try and improve on his time and get himself back up into pole position. Eric Schmidera has come into the pits, so Eric Schmidera, if no one can get a better time than him, will be starting from 4th position. So all comes down to whether Ryan Skywalker can improve on his time. Can he improve on his time? As he comes down the start-finish line, across the line, improves his time, but not enough. He's going to secure himself a front row start just behind Max Newt 7 in second position, but misses out on provisional pole by 0.027 of a second. So Ryan really improving his time there. But I think more importantly than that, putting 4.5 tenths of a second between himself and Eric on the leaderboard. That's some serious lap times, isn't it?
And Max is on a flying lap right now.
He's on another flying lap. Max Newt looking to improve in time yet again. He had a fastest first sector. He had a slightly slower 2 tenths down in the middle sector. Let's see if he can make up them 2 tenths in this last part of the track. You got to keep the power on as you go through this section. Foot flat down, and then a little bit of a dab of the brakes for me. I'm not sure if that's what these drivers are doing, because they're better than me. They might not need to brake, and he does improve his time. He puts in a 1:43.474, just a slight improvement on his time, but enough to maintain that provisional pole position. So as we finish the qualifying, Max Newt 7 in pole position, followed by Ryan Skywalker in 7th, Jovan Oisthausen. It's an all South African second and third, with Eric Schmidera in 4th. So starting directly behind his championship rival, Ryan Skywalker. Let's see if that comes to fruition in the race. Henry Comsey in 5th, Michelle Rodriguez in 6th, Adam Westholm in 7th, Isaac Gard in 8th, Nicholas Barrion in 9th, and El Ripo in 10th. El Ripo really making a name for himself recently. He is really coming up the ranks of the drivers that are in our races, isn't he?
Oh, he really is.
So, there we go. The stage is set. 22 BMWs on the track for you to view. They call me Ratman. They call me Ratman. Who's finishing the first corner in first, Spitzlam? You know I ask you every week. Who's going out the first corner in first? It could be Jovan this time. It could even be Max.
It could be almost everyone if there's a big crash.
Honestly, it could be anyone in the top 10, because everyone in the top 10 right now is a very fast driver. I think a lot of them are race winners. So we'll see how it goes.
Besides Adam Westholm, the new driver that was recruited by Michelle.
The Swedish meatball, looking to make a name for himself. But of course, there's 22 other drivers looking to make a name for themselves. As they set off, 6 lights go out, and the drivers are flying down the start-finish straight. Max Newt and Ryan Skywalker alongside. Oh, and it looks like Jovan has bumped Max Newt, and Ryan Skywalker's been bumped as well. He bumped into the wall, and he rejoins in 6th position. Nothing Ryan could have done there. There's 2 more drivers in the wall behind them all. Oh, there's a driver clattering into the first corner, and Ryan Skywalker has come off right for croppers there, drops down into 9th position. Meanwhile, his championship contender, Eric Schmidera, had the cleanest getaway of all. Gets himself up into 2nd position. Was it him, or was it Jovan that managed to clip Max Newt going into the first corner? Did you see that, Spitzlan?
That's really bad. I just saw they touch, and then just someone going away from it.
I cannot tell. They've got the same livery. It's so difficult to tell. However, oh, another driver going sideways into the wall. Who is that? Who's that gone into the wall there? Ryan Skywalker! Ryan Skywalker's been sent round sideways once again, and he's been placed into a wall. He's going to have serious damage on his car, and he's going to have to fight back. Oh, and he's been put round once again. Ryan Skywalker is having the worst luck of anyone in the world right now. His championship hopes are dying off before his very eyes. He rejoins the track in 21st position. He's dropped all the way down from 2nd to 21st because of just people just clipping him. I don't think any of these has been his fault. He's really come off very, very unlucky with all these racing incidents, and that's just a danger of starting very high up in the first lap. But I'm going to jump back to the front once again, because we're very, very close in the top 6 right now. We've got 6 drivers all within about a second of each other. Jovan Oisthausen battling with Eric Schmidera's off. Eric Schmidera's had a little bit of a spin, actually, not off. So he's dropped himself down to 5th position from 2nd. But he's safe for now, because his championship contender, Ryan Skywalker, is still down in 20th position. But it has allowed Isaac Gard and Bathtub, the train behind them, actually, all the way down to 10th to catch up to him. So he's going to have to put the pedal down and try and catch up to this top 4, which are now getting away from everyone. And the man who's getting away from everyone is Max Newt, who's now put a serious amount of daylight between himself and Henry Comsey, who is one of his championship contenders, kind of, not so much as Eric and Ryan, but he is 2 seconds ahead of the driver in second place. This man has found some unbelievable pace. I don't know where he's got it from, but he knows exactly how to drive this BMW. Excuse me. Meanwhile, I know I'll offend some fanboys there, eh? Jovan Oosthuizen and Henry Comsey look to reenact Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, and they almost do as Jovan Oosthuizen moves past Henry Comsey and gives him a little bit of a love tap. Henry Comsey keeps it under control, fortunately, but that does mean that Michel Rodriguez is now going toe-to-toe with Jovan, and then to going round the corner now, Jovan stays just about ahead of the man from Sweden, the lead man from Sweden, the lead Swede, as they head up the hill once again. Very easy to lose the back end as you head up this corner, but none of these drivers are going to make the same mistakes that I do on the hot laps, and it's close in the top 4. Have you seen any other interesting battles develop in Spitzland?
Not really.
This is the most interesting battle going on track, I guess.
Yes.
Well,
yes, it is.
It's the battle of the Scandinavians now, because Jovan's managed to put a bit of daylight between himself and Michel, and Henry Comsey has managed to come and bring the baton to Michel as he moves right up the inside there of the third to last corner. I need to get some corner names and numbers going, don't I? Here, I am struggling. But the drivers still finish the second lap. Max Newt out in front with Jovan Oosthuizen, Henry Comsey and Michel Rodriguez finishing your top 4. That's a terrible camera angle on the stream there. But, of course, the story of the day, Ryan Skywalker, down in 14th position. He's just made up another position, making light work of some of the back markers here, but he's got an absolutely titanic fight ahead of him if he wants to get himself back up at least into a points position. Never mind getting himself up into a high scoring points position, because the man that he's trying to beat, Eric Schmadera, is in 5th position now, which is not necessarily where he'd want to be, but it's definitely a place where he can score plenty of points from. And Eric is closing on Michel Rodriguez. Likewise is Ryan on Aries Ecochali and Adam Westall, the new Swede on the block.
Don't forget that Eric and Ryan are just 1 point apart in the championship right now, so...
Exactly, so every point matters. Every point matters for these drivers, as they've got 2 races, so it can all change. It can all come back on Eric in a second race, but at the minute, Eric's a very happy boy, because he's currently sat pretty in 5th position, and he's chasing down Michel Rodriguez. He's got a fair bit of daylight between himself and Isaac Gard, so all he needs to do is keep it consistent and keep himself well in the points, while Ryan Skywalker battles with everyone, basically, to scramble himself back up into the points. Here we go. I've got some corner names now, so I'll stop sounding so silly. The man at the front of the pack, meanwhile, here he is, coming around the New Holland corner, the final corner on the circuit. Max Newt 7 has 2.8 seconds back to the man in second place, Jovan Oosthuizen. What a driver Max is making himself to be this time round. He is really showing off his skills here, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is showing his skills.
But behind him, there is a battle brewing, because Eric Schmadera is closing on Michel Rodriguez. You can see them just in the middle of your shot there. Very, very close. Not a lot between the pair of them, both in the silver BMWs. Do you know, I think this livery reminds me of the Mercedes from the DTM. The 190 DTM Mercedes that we raced, like, the other month.
Oh, yeah. I know it. Now I do.
Similar kind of livery. But anyway, of course, I've got very distracted there. You can tell how easily distracted I am, because I've just got distracted by a livery. While there's a race going on. There's a race going on, Adam. Control yourself. Michel Rodriguez is getting caught by Eric Schmadera. And of course, Eric is going to look to pick up this position here, because, as we said, 1 point between himself and Ryan Skywalker. Every point matters. So if he can manage to get himself up past Michel Rodriguez, that's another point in the championship. And that's another point of safety, because, of course, going into the second race, we've got a reverse grid. So Ryan, as it stands, he's going to be starting significantly ahead of Eric, although Ryan's, of course, going to want to move through the pack. He's got 8.5 minutes left. I'm sure he can make light work of some of these drivers. Who's that going slowly there? Jovan Oosthuizen. Why is Jovan going slowly?
I don't know, go and ask him.
Jovan Oosthuizen going very slowly, giving us a bit of a is that Glock moment, but no, he's holding up Eric Schmadera. Is this team orders? Is this team orders between the South Africans?
I think it is.
It could well be.
It definitely seems like it.
It could well be.
Why?
He's chopped himself back into 4th position. He's slotted back in. And so Henry Comsey is promoted up to 2nd. Michel Rodriguez up to 3rd. Both of them drivers will be happy to be on the podium. But, yeah, Jovan, I'm not sure why he was going slowly there. He might have had a little bit of a spin as he came out of the top of the hill at turn 9. But he's fighting away once again. Eric Mandera behind him now. Michel Rodriguez just ahead of him. But he's catching up to Michel Rodriguez a little bit as well as he heads through turn 1, through turn 2, around the long, long right-hander of turn 3. It's very hard to get this corner right, nonetheless, when you're racing as well, especially with that disturbed airflow in front of you. But he's managed to keep himself onto the back of Michel Rodriguez and still keep the battle alive. There's less than a second between the pair of them. As further back, Adam Westall manages to make himself a move. Have I said it is Adam Westall? I'm sorry, I second guessed myself.
Yeah.
Managed to make a move on El Ripo for 9th position. So a little bit of a battle going on there further back as they head down, up the hill towards turn 4. But El Ripo not able to give Adam an answer back for now. He's safe for now. Big up the Adams is all I've got to say. Anyway, Nicholas Barrion also catching up to the back of Bathtub. Bathtub in 7th position, which is very impressive. I'm not sure quite how he got there, but he's managed to get himself up there from out of the top 10, and he's in 7th position getting chased by Nicholas Barrion. Adam Westholm has been cursed by the commentator. I am so sorry. He's had a bit of a moment. He's come to a stop on the track and he's rejoined the circuit. He's back up to full speed now, and he's in 12th position, just behind Echo Charlie and ahead of Aries. But of course, that does allow Mr. Ryan Skywalker to move up into 9th position. So Ryan Skywalker now into a points scoring position, but still he's 4 points behind Eric Chimendera, 4 places behind Eric Chimendera, excuse me, who himself is trying to catch Jovan, who himself is trying to catch Michel, who himself is trying to catch Henry Comsey. But there's a bit of a train of 3 here as they head through the 1st and 2nd corners. Jovan manages to get himself almost alongside Michel as they're heading around turn 3, but he's keeping the pressure on Michel, not letting him get a moment's peace as he's basically on his rear quarter. He switches to the inside. Michel Rodriguez is on the outside, Jovan on the inside. Jovan's well alongside before they turn into turn 4. Michel's going to get sent all the way around the outside, and Eric Mandera is going to try and capitalise on all this chaos. He's well up alongside Michel Rodriguez himself, but he's going to have to back out before the next corner. Michel tries to get himself up the inside of Jovan Oosthuizen into turn 5, heading down the hill. Eric Mandera, frustrated with how slow those drivers took that corner, manages to give Michel a bit of a love bump, but they are all carrying on as they were. No spins here. Heading back up the hill through turn 7, through turn 8. All over the curbs. Eric Mandera not taking an optimal line at all there, losing out a little bit of time to Michel Rodriguez. But Jovan, meanwhile, has managed to extend himself. A little bit of daylight between the pair of them, and Jovan has done well there to spread himself apart from these 3 drivers. Further back, Nicholas Barrion has managed to get himself past Bathtub very safely. I think Bathtub might have had a bit of an incident because he dropped down quite significantly. And the battle between them 3 has calmed down. I don't know who's going to come out on. I don't know who's going to come out on the 3rd step of the podium today. I couldn't tell you. It's crazy, isn't it?
What might happen? Johan can lose his engine again.
It could. I don't know what happened to him last time. He must have had a spin or something off camera. I completely missed it. But nonetheless, the drivers carry on as they were. Heading down the start-finish straight, it's Max Newt still out in the lead. 3.5 seconds between him and Henry Comsey in 2nd place. Jovan Oosthuizen now a 2.5 clear of Michel Rodriguez. Is in 3rd place. Michel Rodriguez, of course, getting hunted down by the man in 2nd place in the championship. Eric Mandera looking to make up all the points he can to capitalise on the absolutely torrid day that Ryan Skywalker has had. Ryan Skywalker has seen one too many magpies today. He must have walked underneath the ladder or crossed a black cat. I think Ryan needs to get himself a 4-leaf clover or something to get himself back some luck here, because he has not had the luck of the mill today. He's chasing Bathtub now. I'm sure he's going to be able to get past him within 3 minutes and potentially catch himself up to the back of some of the drivers further ahead. Only 2 seconds between himself and Nicholas Barrion. You can see just in frame now Ryan Skywalker there, moving down the inside of Bathtub and making... Oh no, sorry. Stuck on the outside. Excuse me. Bathtubs get sent to the outside there. Ryan Skywalker now on the inside. He's away and he's through into turn 7 and up the hill to turn 8. And Bathtub is going to have to settle for 9th position because I don't think he's going to be able to catch Ryan Skywalker, who we all know is one of the fastest drivers on the grid, as evidenced by him being the top of the championship. And Bathtub is giving all his might, but Ryan just managing to keep himself clear for now, despite the constant attacks of the man from Hungary. He's hungry. Not hungry enough. Not hungry enough.
Oh, he's not hungry for those points. Not today.
He's still in the point scoring position as long as he can hold on to the track right now and just get the car home. He's got 6 seconds to stay clear, has Bathtub, so I'm sure he can manage that again ahead of El Ripo. But of course, El Ripo, who I said was making a name for himself in the Track Titan Community Race Series, is in 10th position now. He had a really good starting position from qualifying, but I think he had a bit of a rough start in general and dropped down a few places, and he's now behind Bathtub. But he might be able to put up a bit of an attack towards the end of this race potentially. 2 minutes left in a lap. There's a potential, isn't there?
Oh, there's potential in everything. There's potential in Maximus crashing out. Anything can happen. It's racing. Get over it.
Exactly. It's racing. Anything can happen. That's the.
It's called a motor race.
It's called a motor race, Toto. On screen for the last few corners has been Eric Mandera and Michelle Rodriguez. Still battling away, the pair of them. Eric Mandera just not able to find a way past Michelle Rodriguez. I think we are coming up to the shortcomings of the Moto GP layout in a car like this. Oh, who's that gone off behind? Is that Isaac Gard? Was that? I can't tell who that was. Someone went off just behind us on the top of the shot, but I can't quite figure out who it was. It must have been a back marker. Nothing to worry about. Anyway, as I said, we're coming up to the shortcomings of the MotoGP layout because, of course, with the sharper corners of turn 10 and 11 and the chicane in the traditional layout, this is where you get the deep braking zones that you can make a lunge down the inside. And you don't really get that on this layout because of the long curved corners. I think it's quite hard to make a move in a car like this. But nonetheless, they're still going around as they are, and Eric Mandera proving me wrong. Almost tries to make a lunge on Michelle Rodriguez, doesn't manage to come off because Michelle Rodriguez manages to defend into the first corner. So they still drive around in 4th and 5th. Ryan Skywalker on his fight back from 21st has done a ridiculous job and managed to get himself back up to 7th position. He's caught up to the back of Nicolas Barriant, but with 10 seconds between himself and Isaac Gard, I think that he's not going to move much higher than 7th position in this race at least, especially considering we're about to come on to the last lap. Like, where is Max at this stage of the lap?
Max is just at the back straight right now.
That's exactly where he is. There he is on screen in the Falcon livery. What a lovely car that Falcon livery is. Heading down the hill into the... You can see the traditional section of Barcelona on this camera angle, actually. It shows it very well. But, yeah, Max Newt. 2.5 seconds of daylight between himself and Henry Comsey in 2nd position. Jovan is sniffing for 2nd position. He's going to be able to make a last-minute lunge. He's got a second between himself and Henry. It's on the cards for Jovan if he can muster up the cojones. But another man who needs to muster up some cojones if he's going to get some serious points on Ryan Skywalker, who's now only 2 positions behind him, is Eric Mandera. Of course, chasing down Michelle Rodriguez for that valuable 4th position. Onto the start-finish straight they come. It's the silver versus the white BMWs. And Michelle Rodriguez, for now, is holding on. In fact, he's put a little bit of daylight between himself and Eric. Eric's just not taking the battle to Michelle quite how I'd particularly expected him to.
I think Eric already retired a little bit. It's the final lap. He doesn't need to push that much anymore. He knows he will not catch him. He's already been chasing him for 5 laps. There's no point in chasing him anymore.
Yeah, that might be the best position for Eric, mightn't it? You know, don't want to push it too hard and risk a spin because you'll lose even more points, especially with Ryan only 2 places behind. So play the safe game and bring home some valuable points. As we said, every point counts. So, demand. Well, I've kept kind of coming back to Max Snoot to give him a bit of praise here. He's still got a second. He's dropping a little bit of time to Henry Comsey at the end of this race, but it's not going to be enough as they're on the final lap now and coming around to finish the lap. But yeah, he's not got much. He's not had much screen time as Max Snoot 7, as he's qualified on pole position, first into the first corner, first around the first lap, and in just a second he's going to be first across the line after 10 laps. What a race from Max Snoot. This is a dominant display, isn't it, from the driver here?
Oh, it definitely is. It's a change to see him.
It definitely is. And it's a statement of intent as he sits in 6th position in the championship currently. He's going to take all the points possible as he crosses the line. Henry Comsey in 2nd position, and Jovan Oosthuizen not able to make the move happen, finishes in 3rd position. Michel Rodriguez holds off Eric Tremendera right to the line, who finishes in 5th position as Isaac Gard rounds the final corner in his blue BMW. There he is crossing the line in 6th position. Can't do the same at the University Karting Championships, can you, Isaac? Ryan Skywalker finishes in 7th. Nicolas Barrion comes home in 8th position, with Bathtub very, very close behind. Bathtub really taking the fight to Nicolas towards the end of the race there. But Bathtub finishes in 9th position for now. El Ripo coming around the final corner to round out the top 10 and take home the last solitary point of this race in 10th position. And so everyone coming across the line now is going to have to settle for, well,
no points.
0 points. Nil points. Nil points. That's a statement that many British people are familiar with when it comes to the Eurovision. Nil points. But Echo Charlie in 11th. Adam Westholm on his debut in 12th position. Is it his debut? Have we seen him before? Adam Westholm? I'm not sure. I feel like the name's familiar, but I might be wrong. Nonetheless,
you might be familiar because your name is Adam.
That could be it. Maybe I'm just a narcissist.
You're experiencing deja vu.
I've seen this place before. We're going crazy because it's the end of the race. Tornblad in what's he called?
Tornblad.
Tornblad in 14th position, with Mr. Seglar in 15th position, Luke Tiscam in 16th, Keith Holt in 17th, and then rounding out the last of the drivers is Mate Naj in 20th position. And we're going to move on to the second race, of course, reverse grid. And importantly for the championship, this means that there are some key switches in the order. Ryan Skywalker starts 2 place positions ahead of Eric Tremendera for this race, which could play a key vital role in the eventual finishing of the championship. Eventual finishing of the championship after this race, of course. Only 1 point when they went into it. There's definitely more than 1 point now, as Eric finished 2 places ahead of Ryan in that first race. We'll see who comes off ahead after this race. We'll see if Ryan can shake his bad luck or if he can just pass it on to Eric, which is what I'm sure he wants to do, isn't it?
Oh, I don't think he does.
Ryan's a fair racer. Is that what it is?
He is a fair racer. He'll race him to death if that's what he needs to do.
Very true.
And it will happen.
Well, there we go. We have a grid of 19 drivers. 19 BMW M3 GT2s on the line. Someone seems to have jumped the start in the middle of the pack there. I'm not sure quite who that was. But the 6 lights do go out and the drivers set off across the line. And wow, we are well along the way as Rafa Cortez starts in the pit lane. I'm going to jump on board with Michel Rodriguez here. He's starting from second to last position. Eric Tremendera looking to make some serious moves into the first corner. Meanwhile, his championship hopeful. Oh, Eric Tremendera spins around Isaac Gard and he takes to the runoff there. Oh, and Eric Tremendera collides with Nicolas Barrion. He's in the barrier on second corner. Ryan Skywalker's just ahead of him now. Max Snoot 7 in amongst the melee. Nicolas Barrion, I think, has come off very badly after that collision there. And Ryan Skywalker's sideways. He's sideways on the exit of turn 3 there. Ryan Skywalker gets going again. And Eric Tremendera, despite colliding and almost going round and colliding with the wall in second turn, still ends up ahead of Ryan Skywalker. Ryan Skywalker does not have luck for anything. If he didn't have any bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. Michel Rodriguez make the big mover here, coming right through the pack. He's fighting with Max Snoot 7, the last race winner, for 10th position now. The battle of the Scandinavians rekindles itself. Maj Seglar is on the exit of turn 8 there, rejoining the track safely, not in front of all the drivers. Well done, Maj. Meanwhile, at the top of the list right now, it's Scuba Guy leading them. He's a second away from Look to Scam, and he's 2.5 seconds ahead of Tornblad as they come down the hill into the long left sweeping section of turn 10. Keith Holt and Bathtub are battling their way for 4th position. Bathtub once again with a fantastic start, and he's got himself up into 4th position. He's battling with Torblad to try and get himself podium position. That's not going to help you, Bathtub. He's got a bit of camera shy there. He's taken well across the track there to rejoin safely. He's managed to keep himself together, and he's dropped back behind Keith Holt after all of that. And Maitenage is going to try and sweep up after him and come through on him very soon. Meanwhile, the championship contenders, oh, they're side by side. They're right next to each other. I'm not sure what happened to Eric, but he's dropped down the order somewhat. And El Ripo, Ryan Skywalker, and Eric Madeira are all battling side by side into turn 1. I don't know who's going to come out on top. El Ripo's stuck in the middle of the pair of them. Eric Madeira's on the inside. Ryan Skywalker's on the outside. Ryan Skywalker breaks very, very early there. Loses out a lot of time, and Eric Madeira makes a serious lunge on El Ripo there. But Ryan Skywalker sends it around the inside once again, does a switch back on El Ripo, and then gets sent around the outside of turn 2, but manages to keep it together, and he's battling away with his championship rival, Eric Madeira, around turn 3. Both of them currently outside the points, so they both got time to make up to get himself back into the points to get this championship fight back alive. I'm sure they can both do that as long as they don't battle. Look how close they're coming. Robin is racing. Ryan Skywalker gets well alongside Eric Madeira there, almost sends him around as he lunges up the inside of Isaac Gard there. The pair of them get themselves by Isaac, and still side by side, 12th and 13th, Eric Madeira and Ryan Skywalker into turn 7. Up the hill to turn 8, there's 2 drivers side by side ahead. It's JP and Henry Comsey, and JP came off worse for wears there, drops himself down into 16th position. Eric Madeira and Ryan Skywalker, the 2 championship rivals, still side by side as they head down the hill towards turn 10. Ryan Skywalker is losing time there as he touches the gravel on the way down, and Isaac Gard is going to capitalize on that. He's going to get himself ahead of Ryan Skywalker as they head through the long sweeping left-hander of turn 10 up towards turn 11. Bit of oversteer there from Isaac Gard, but he controls it and doesn't get involved in the battle between these 2 titans at the head of the championship as Eric Madeira and Ryan Skywalker as they head round turn 11 now. And there's a driver that's gone backwards there. Not sure who that was. Oh, it's Keith. And Ryan's had a bit of a collision there with Isaac Gard. And Isaac Gard has clipped Ryan Skywalker, and Ryan Skywalker's in the wall again. He's in the wall again. He loses out once again to the Lady Luck, and he ends up dropping down the order to 13th position, just ahead of El Ripo and just behind Isaac Gard. But El Ripo's going to manage to try and get himself past Ryan Skywalker, and once again, Ryan Skywalker losing out. Eric Madeira definitely not losing out and still battling away in 10th position. Wow, that was a crazy, crazy lap or so, wasn't it? The 2 championship contenders battling, and once again, Ryan with the worst luck in the world, eh?
Yeah, I wanted to say that while they were battling, everybody else, Isaac and that, had clean cars, and just Ryan and Eric, just like these bumped up cars, like they are playing bumper cars or something.
They were. Robin is racing. We said it last week.
Robin is racing, but not in F1 cars.
Of course. You've been watching your Track Titan videos, you know.
Actually, I never watched one single one of them.
That's not the right answer.
El Ripo spins.
El Spino has done a spin, and meanwhile, who else is that spun? Oh, Adam Westholm. I think he might be about to retire. He's in the wall on the exit, and he does retire there. I think maybe after a bit of a collision with El Ripo. The man that was in first position just a moment ago, Scuba Guy, had a serious incident, and he dropped himself down to 12th position.
Look at where Bathtub is.
Yeah, Bathtub once again.
Tell me that's amazing.
Bathtub is the underdog. He's the rookie of the year. And he's fighting to second position, but I have to be honest, he's fighting for his life, because look who's behind him. It's a train of 3 absolute titans of this entire community. Michelle Rodriguez, Jovan Oishausen, and Max Newt 7. Of course, also nearly the podium from last race as Michelle Rodriguez moves to the inside of Bathtub. Looks like he's going to be able to make the move under braking. He is. Michelle Rodriguez brakes later. Bathtub not got an answer for it, and Jovan's even alongside Bathtub now as Bathtub sent to the curb and sent to the shadow realm by the 3 drivers that breeze past him into the second corner, and Bathtub drops himself down into 5th position. Although no shame in that, because the 3 drivers that overtook him, we all know, are 3 of the fastest drivers in the world.
But he keeps fighting with Max Snoot. That's the determination we want to see.
Exactly.
Still fighting till the end. He knows
Fighting
it's
to the
not
bitter
over.
end. He does, exactly. And Bathtub is showing a valiant heart here, battling in
Michel's
fifth
spun.
position. Oh, Michel.
Michel's
Oh,
spun.
Michel's doing a pirouette, and he's having to do a 3-point turn in the middle of the track. He hasn't caused any chaos for the drivers there, doing very well to not get involved in any crashes. But he does spin, and it drops him all the way down to 14th position. So Michel Rodriguez, the biggest loser of that situation, drops himself right down the battle as Ryan Skywalker goes side by side with Scuba Guy there, and Ryan Skywalker gets himself up into 11th position just behind Keith Holt. He's battling his way back through as he has had once again the worst luck on the grid. His championship contender Eric Schmendera is in a three-way battle for 6th position with Henry Comsey and Mate Naj. They are all flying around as Max Newt 7 gets himself up past Look to Scam. Jovan managed to get himself past Look to Scam not long ago as well. I just missed that on the cameras. There's a lot of movement going on up and down the grid, isn't there?
Oh, there definitely is.
This is a fantastic race.
Thornblood messes up, takes a different line, takes the chicane, and spins at the final corner. It cannot get worse. And he's one of the Swedish.
Oh, and he DNFs.
DNFs.
Yep, well, Michel Rodriguez, meanwhile, jumped to him because he is managing to make a move himself on Nicholas Barrion, battling for 12th position. Two very, very fast drivers here, and El Ripo very close behind. All these three drivers have had spins or crashes, and they're now battling outside the points, which is not a place that any of them feel comfortable because all of these drivers are regular point scorers. Up at the front, Bathtub still battling away, showing the valiant heart that he has. He's battling with Luck to Scam for 3rd position, and he's managed to hold off Henry Comsey, who is a race winner, of course. So you would think that Henry would be able to get himself up and past these drivers, but not the case. Bathtub fighting for Rookie of the Year. A driver has gone off behind. Who's that driver going off? Eric Jamandera. Eric Jamandera has gone off just behind the camera there. You could hear him in the gravel. And Ryan Skywalker now, once again, the battle reignites. It's the two at the top of the championship. Oh, and Eric Jamandera collides with Ryan Skywalker. Oh, and they both go off.
Is racing.
Ryan Skywalker ends up in the gravel once again due to a racing incident between himself and Eric Jamandera. And Ryan Skywalker drops down into 13th position. Eric Jamandera still maintains 8th position. Ryan said this would happen, and he said he'd get his elbows out, and he just got spun round again. Absolute heartbreak for Ryan Skywalker there. Not his fault at all. Just one of them moments in a tight corner, and two does not go into one sometimes. And well, simple math. Ryan spins as he helps Keith round, and then goes around himself. Ryan Skywalker still having the worst luck on the grid. Oh, gets bumped into by Ripper there. I'm sure the frustration is really setting in for Ryan Skywalker here. He's got 5.5 minutes to launch a serious comeback if he can manage to keep his championship dream alive. But as it stands right now, Eric Jamandera is running away with it. He's in 8th position, and he looks to gain some more positions if he can catch up to Isaac Gadd and Mate Naj. But not like that. Getting passed by Michel Rodriguez. Michel Rodriguez making a move into the first corner. Eric Jamandera now on the inside of turn 3. Swipes himself up the inside of Michel Rodriguez. Michel Rodriguez all the time leaves the space. And Eric's back up to 8th position. Looking to get all the points he can because, once again, Ryan Skywalker is the unluckiest man on the grid. As Michel Rodriguez moves up his inside.
Sorry, Adam, I need to disrupt you now. But Bathtub is defending like line here from Henry Comsey. These guys went like this whole lap together. This is an amazing defense, but Henry got past. Unfortunate.
Yeah, very close between these drivers, but Bathtub did manage to get himself past Luck to Scam. So Bathtub still fighting for 4th position. It's an incredible place for him to be in. It's a very good place for Bathtub to be in, all things considered, especially with the level of drivers that we have on the track today. And well, you know what? He's going to show everyone. Look, as he almost launches an attack on Henry Comsey there into turn 10. Fantastic moves from him. But it just goes to show you, keep your nose clean, you end up in one of them high positions. And you do too much battling, you do too much spinning, and you end up like Michelle, you end up like Eric, you end up like Ryan, and you end up down out of the points. As Ryan Skywalker manages to make a move on El Ripo, and Mate Naj makes a move on Luck to Scam. El Ripo, though, battling back to Ryan Skywalker. He's fighting back. He's not letting Ryan take it easily as they head up the hill towards turn 11. Ryan's on the inside, El Ripper on the outside. El Ripper's getting forced all the way around the outside. It's a long corner to get pushed around the outside for, and Ryan Skywalker leaves him no room at all. He's got no time for no BS today, has Ryan. And El Ripper was forced to the grass to stay stable, just ahead of Keith Holt, who takes to the gravel.
Where Doug Isaac is trying to overtake Luke Tiscam. Trying, but he just cannot get through Luke Tiscam, making the widest BMW we see. But Isaac takes the better line through, I don't know, through Renault, and then just left taps Luke Tiscam like, I am here, let me fast.
He did very well there, didn't he? Managed to get himself past quite easily in the end. I think, did Luke Tiscam mess up his braking there, or did he get a bit of a helping hand into the gravel?
No, Isaac just pulled up a karting move, just like a left up to make sure that people know that you're behind them, you're faster. Beautiful
stuff. Has to be done. Give them the old LMP light flash, and they'll make way. They never do. We've lost a fair few drivers. I think this one has been the serious casualty taker. It always is the reverse grid race, but more so than normal.
People don't know how to race. Just face it.
No, I've got full faith in these drivers. You know what it is. You know what it is.
Some of them just need to learn how to drive better. Let's be real.
You're much more scathing than me. Eric Gimandera, once again, sees the real lights of Michelle Rodriguez, not for long, as Eric Gimandera helps Michelle Rodriguez around. That's a bit of a dodgy move from Eric there. Michelle does a perfect pirouette and rejoins the track in 9th position. That's really well recovered from Michelle Rodriguez. But Eric, get your elbows back in, boy. You need to control yourself. He helps Michelle Rodriguez around there. I'm sure the stewards are going to take a look at that move from Eric Gimandera, but Eric Gimandera is making a move on Luke Tiscam as Nicholas Barrion is making a move on Michelle Rodriguez. But Michelle Rodriguez, look how late he breaks into the first corner there, manages to hold on to that position just ahead of Nicholas, because he shuts the door on him through turn 2 and they head round turn 3 with Michelle Rodriguez in 9th position, holding on to that 9th position for now, just behind Luke Tiscam. And I'm sure he'll be able to catch up to him very soon, because with 1 minute 42 left and from faster drives behind Luke Tiscam, he's going to be looking over his shoulder very, very often, isn't he?
Yes. I don't think Eric doesn't care. He just wants to show everybody his elbows.
Exactly,
no one is safe from his elbows now. There's no way to stop him.
No one
is
safe.
If he's near you, he is going to bump.
No one is safe from the dangerous pull. Darth Gimandera is making a name for himself on the dark side of the force here, in 7th position and looking to, well, as we said though, it's getting cagey. We're getting towards the end of the season here, and he knows what he has to do to take this championship away from Ryan Skywalker. And as it stands, he is definitely going to do that, because Ryan Skywalker is still out of the points, and he is 8.5 seconds behind Nicholas Barrion and Michelle Rodriguez, two very fast drivers. I don't think Ryan Skywalker is going to get any points this second race.
He might not. There is no chance. As we said, Michelle trying to get past Luke Tiscam. Again, Luke Tiscam showing how wide his car is.
Oh,
Make
and
sure
Luke
no
Tiscam
one
spins.
gets past, but Michelle and he spins. I complimented you. Why are you not doing your job?
However, that is good news for Mr. Ryan Skywalker, who has managed to move himself up into a points position there. With Luke Tiscam spinning, of course, Ryan has moved up into 10th position, and that might only be 1 point. But that could be the point that decides it. Of course, there was only 1 point between them today, wasn't there? It could be the point that decides it. We never know. It's getting cagey. It's getting cagey and it's getting tight. But Ryan Skywalker manages to get himself up into a point scoring position. As long as he can manage to keep it on track with his damaged car as it is, then it'll be okay. The timer ticks down to 0. Jovan Oisthausen out at the front of the pack is 2 seconds ahead of Max Newt, and he's going around the middle section of the track onto the back straight now. So one more lap when he crosses the line. The next closest battle behind them looks to be
nothing.
Nicholas Barrion and Michelle Rodriguez. There's not a lot going on all of a sudden, is there?
Oh, Eric catching up to Matenagi. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, there we go. And then the two drivers battling away for 6th position here Eric, of course, as we said, looking to make all the points he can, and I think he's quite a little bit faster than Mitnaj there. Yeah, about 2 seconds a lap faster than him on last lap around. So we'll expect him to make the move on him very soon as they head around the long left-hander of turn 10. Eric Mandera is almost alongside. Look how wide that BMW looks as it comes around the corner. It's a big, big boy. Round the right-hander of turn 11 now, on to the final couple corners now. No chicane on this layout, so he's going to have to make a move on a nice sweeping maneuver. Oh, he's going to have to wait till the start-finish straight. Oh, Eric trying to make a risky move there. He's going to have to be patient now. He's going to have to be patient, Eric, and make a safe move at the start-finish straight. Don't ruin all your progress because Mitnaj is going to just hand the position to him as he gets all over the gravel and hands the position to Eric Mandera. So Eric Mandera up into 6th position. Michelle Rodriguez just behind them. Look at the yellow lights beaming down. So I don't know how the championship is going to look after this one. I am all over the place. This one's going to take some serious calculating, but I know one thing's for certain. Eric will be ahead of Ryan Skywalker at the end of today in the championship, won't he?
Yeah, that's definite. There's nothing that can change that. For now.
For now. And I'm sure that we are going to want to talk to at least one of them drivers after the race. We'll see. Of course, we want to talk to Jovan and Max Newt 7, the 2 winners of today, because here he is, Mr. Jovan Oosthuizen, on your screen, heading down the hill towards turn 10, and he's just giving us a bit of a parade lap now because there's not a lot of other racing going on. He's managed to get himself into 1st position on this reverse grid race. Of course, he started second last because he finished second in the first race. So amazing haul of points for both Max Newt and Jovan today because they both finished 1st and 2nd. So Jovan coming around the final couple corners, getting all over the exit of the track there. I think his tyres must be beginning to wear, but that doesn't matter because this is the last lap and this is the win for Jovan Oosthuizen, who wins the 2nd race of the day. Max Newt 7 comes home in 2nd position, so a win in the 2nd place for the pair of them. Henry Comsey rounds out the podium in 3rd position, and then Bathtub, absolute winner of the day, I think. Driver of the day, but for Bathtub. Comes round in 4th position, and that's probably a career best finish, I think, in the Track Titan Community Race Series, isn't it, for Bathtub?
Actually, he got 2nd into... Oh wait, we don't talk about that for a second. I forgot.
At least in this season. Isaac Gard finishes in 5th. Eric Mandera takes home 6th position, and of course, very many valuable points to get himself ahead of Ryan Skywalker by the end of today. Mitnaj in 7th position, Michelle Rodriguez in 8th, Nicholas Barrion in 9th, and Ryan Skywalker immediately disconnects. I can tell you one thing now, he will not be happy after that incident.
He always immediately disconnects. He's
not going to be happy anyway after that incident, I'm sure, between himself and Eric Mandera. He finishes in 10th position, picks up 1 solitary point. And that could be an important point, but thanks to Look to Scam, who hands him it by spinning on the 2nd to last corner. Look to Scam comes home 11th. El Ripo comes home 12th, which is a bit disappointing for him there because he had such a good first race and just really didn't get any luck at all in the 2nd race. And then rounding out the final end of the grid, Mash Seglar in 13th position, so no points for them last 3 drivers. But good races overall. Let's see if we can get Jovan. Jovan is there. Ryan Skywalker is too. We'll see if we can get Jovan in first. Oh, and Henry. I think it's Henry Comsey.
He's waiting for an interview. He is.
We'll abduct Jovan first. Jovan, welcome to the commentary booth. How'd you feel? A win in the 2nd race?
Hi, pretty new.
Yeah, you did very well, to be fair. There was a lot of chaos in that 2nd race. You just managed to carve through the pack and get yourself into 1st position, held on to it. How did the car feel today?
It felt on rails, man. The car felt amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic. Not struggling with the curbs like everyone else, then?
No, just stay off of them completely.
Well, there we go. I mean, a win. I've not, to be honest with you, mate, I've not got a lot to say to you because you just kept your nose clean. Actually, I do have one thing to say to you. In the first race, we noticed you were in 2nd position, and then suddenly you were going slowly down towards turn 10. What happened? Did you have a spin?
No, I had a speed wobble into the gravel and then just slowly made my way back on.
Oh, well, I think it's easily done. It's easily done. But, I mean, it was second place in the first race, right?
Yes. I believe
Yeah.
2nd or 3rd.
2nd or 3rd, and then a 1st confirmed. So you are going to move up the leaderboard, no doubt. I'm not sure where are you in the leaderboard at the minute.
I'm not there.
Well, there you
It's
go.
my first time.
This is
It
a
was
serious entry.
third. First race, Johan was third.
Oh well, there you go. I was wrong, like for that half that last race, but you know we'll move past it. That's a serious entry into the championship, and you're going to get yourself up at least into the top 10 with a finish like that. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, not into the top 10, top 15.
Everything counts.
Everything counts. Everything counts, and we're coming to the end of the season. Hopefully we'll see more of you because you've brought some much needed variety to the winners. I'm sick of hearing the same voices.
You'll see me more often.
Fantastic. Okay, well there we go. Jovan Oosthuizen, winner of the second race. I'll put you back to earth if that's all right.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, see you later, Jovan.
Thanks.
So that's Jovan Oosthuizen, winner of the second race. I'll see if Max Newt is available.
But I hope he is. That's the point.
Of course, it'd be nice to talk to the winner. However, there is.
You are typing into standings.
Yeah, I know. So Max, see if he's available for an interview. However, there are two men that I want to talk to that have got their names written on my lips at the minute, and I don't want to jump in there quite yet because I'm sure there's going to be plenty of chaos in the general chat, Switzerland. But do you want to go see if Ryan Skywalker and Eric Mandera are ready for a joint interview after this race?
Okay, yeah, I will ask.
Go quickly
That
see.
would be good.
So as Spitzlam goes off and beats the roving reporter, let's see if Ryan and Eric are ready to talk about that incident. I'm sure we all know what we're talking about. If you've seen this race, you'll see that they came together and they're at the head of this championship, and it's getting tight. It's getting tight at the top of it. Max Newt 7 is also in the channel, so I'm sure we'll be able to talk to him in a minute as well. Hopefully, I won't be alone for very long.
You can object Max Newt. That's
Okay, well, I am going to take Max Newt. Max Newt 7, here he is, winner of the first race and second in the second race. What a day! What a day!
Yeah, it was a good day.
You did very, very well, and I think with them two finishes, you're going to move up into 5th in the championship, right?
Maybe. I don't
think
know.
so. I think so. And then your next rival, I guess after that, is Henry Comsey, your fellow Finnish man. Do you think you can catch him within 2 races? Do you think you're going to be able to beat him?
I try.
Naturally, Henry's a fast driver too.
Yeah.
But you did very well today, and you kept your nose clean. I think that was something I was saying the entire stream. Keep your nose clean, and you'll win. And you demonstrated it very well. You got pole position, led every lap, and finished the first race in first, and then the second race you just couldn't catch Jovan. Did you not have the pace to catch Jovan in the second race?
Yeah, he was very fast.
Yeah. Well, that's I guess that's just the way it goes. I think Jovan had some struggles in the first race, but he ironed them out, and then you were, consistent in the second race anyway. But yeah, well done. A first and a second, so not bad for yourself.
Thanks.
And I'll put you back down into the general channel if that's okay. Thanks for speaking to us, Max.
No problem.
So there we go. Max Newt, the most Finnish sounding man I've ever heard in my life, wins at one race, comes second, and demonstrates how to race in the Track Titan Community Race Series. Are we going to be able to speak to Ryan and Eric, or are we going to leave that for now?
I think we can abduct them, and that's the only way we can talk to them.
They are going to get both abducted. Ryan and Eric, we've got you in here together to cut through the tension. I'll start with Ryan. Ryan, what do you feel happened there?
I don't know. There's so many things I want to say at this moment, but I'm going to not say many things. I will just buy a piece of soap for Eric next time because he's very dirty.
And Eric, you had your elbows out there. Let me tell you, you had your elbows out for Ryan. You had your elbows out for Michelle, and I'm pretty sure you had your elbows out for Look to Scam. Is rubbing racing? Is that what it is? Rubbing is racing.
No, in the second race, I slightly punted Michel into the rear because he got brake checked by the guy in front of him. So,
I see how that happened. Actually, we did only see a front-on view, so
yeah,
that's fair enough.
Brake, but I didn't, so.
I hear excuses.
No, that's on my fault. That's my fault.
Well, either
But,
way,
the coming with Ryan, into that small chicane thing.
turn 8 and 7.
Yeah, go on,
Well-
go on.
Well, I had absolutely no space left on my left side. I was on the curb.
You were barely on the track, mate.
Oof.
There was nowhere
Oof.
else I could have gone.
Tensions are flying, and boys, I mean, we both know how you both feel about this, but at the end of the day, this is a lawless land, and at the end of this race, I'm pretty sure, Eric, you're going to have about a 10-point lead ahead of Ryan, just about, maybe? You finished 2 places ahead of him in the first race, and then you finished in 6th in the second race, Ryan in 10th, so it's a few points between you, potentially. Ryan, you've got a mountain to climb, mate.
A mountain made of soap.
No, I don't think I had that many points. Really? 10 points?
I think it might be something like that, because
Okay.
you finished in 6th twice, right?
I think P6 and P7, but never mind.
Okay, well, we'll see. Keith's going to be working it out right now, of course, as he always does. Working hard, and
I just wanna say
we'll
something.
see. Give us a passing remark.
Both of us lost.
I think it was Keith Holt was placed on this earth to take 2 laps away from each race of mine. When I get into trouble, I set 2 laps behind him. He's very wide.
I mean, Eric had the same thing with Michelle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Keith is making a. I think that's his mission every race.
He's fixing the results so it's easier for him to work out.
He told me. I was having a chuckle. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, there you go. Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm going to let you guys do the talking on track, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back next week, and I'll tell you what, I'll break it to you boys here and to the rest of the stream. Next week, we've got the Ferrari 599 XX Evo at Mugello. How are you both feeling about that? Eric's happy.
Italian soap. I hope it's not expensive.
I voted for it, so I'm happy.
Right, well, we'll see how it goes next week. I'll put you guys back into the general if that's all right, but thanks for joining us.
Thanks, man. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thanks. See you next
See you
week.
guys later.
I'll see you, Ryan, next week.
Well, there we go. Eric Schmidera and Ryan Skywalker, the 2 championship contenders at the head of the field. Ryan, I told you wouldn't be happy.
Yeah,
But-
we knew he wouldn't be happy.
Well,
It's Ryan after all.
It is Ryan. It is Ryan. But there we go. Next week, we have Ferraris, as I said, at Mugello, and Keith has updated the standings, and I can tell you all that the gap between Eric Schmidera and Ryan Skywalker at the head of the pack is 9 points. No, 10 points. I was right.
You're right.
I was exactly right. I knew it. So Eric Schmidera moves up into first position, puts 10 points between himself and Ryan Skywalker. It's still all to fight for next week round. We're going to see how it goes. Michelle Rodriguez maintains 3rd position, but now there's only 10 points between himself and Henry Comsey, so that's going to get quite tight for the final podium per spot as we head into the final 2 races of the season. And then Max Newt comes up into 5th position ahead of Artyom. Artyom doesn't seem to be around anymore, so that's going to be a fairly stable position for Max Newt. And I think everyone else is just kind of slotting in. Drivers making their debut, who was that Jovan Oisthausen, 40 points today, puts himself into 15th position ahead of Diogo Teixeira. So Diogo, we miss you, and come back and defend yourself in 15th from Jovan. But, well, there you go. That's the latest on the standings. That's the latest from the drivers. And that's it for today. Another week of racing done. Next week, we'll see you at Mugello. Isn't that right, Spitslam? Are you going to be here?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Of course.
Yes,
We're
I'm
here. We're here every week. Every week on Tuesday. So thank you to everyone for watching, of course. This championship is really getting exciting, and I'm looking forward to what next week brings. But for now, and from Barcelona, it's goodbye from the Track Titan Community Race Series. See you guys next week.